What is up, survivors? Harv with Harv's Corner. For today, we're going to be going over the Homing Pidgeon mod. This is a pretty cool one, and a suggestion we got from one of our community members. Thank you, Targath, for that suggestion. This is one that I've been eyeballing for a little bit. It seems pretty popular, and oddly enough, I haven't really used it very much. So, I've been playing around with it for a little while, and I actually completely see the appeal. So, what this really allows you to do is allows you to use flyers to autonomously go to different points depending on certain situations. Now, they can be set to go to certain flags at, well, you know, if you're riding a die, the flyer will go back to a specific point, but you can also use a bunch of different flags in these mailboxes, which will explain how they work, to enable the flyers to simply travel by themselves from one point to another. So what I have over here is set up as the point B setup. So I got a point B mailbox and a point B flag. And over there, way over there, is the point A side. So basically the way this works is you'll craft the flags, and let me just bring the pigeon stuff up so you can see it. You can craft the flags on your person, and you can craft the mailboxes on your person. Basically all this stuff you can craft on your person, but this is pretty much what I'm talking about right here. All of the other items, this pigeon parcel, the pigeon paper, the pigeon leg ring, and the pigeon bird seed, that's all craftable on your inventory, but we'll explain how that stuff works a little bit later on as well. And let's take a look at the engrams. You'll unlock these at level 1, so you'll have these as soon as you start, and you'll have access to them. Pretty simple concept. So basically the way it works is the flyer needs to have a costume slot, and that's where you put this leg ring on. You craft the leg ring on your person, you throw it on the costume slot, and that's the point of that. Now, while we're in that inventory, actually, this birdseed does come into play. Let's say you have a flyer that doesn't have a costume slot. If you can feed it this, it'll actually have a costume slot, in which case then you can put the leg ring on it and get it to work. So, fairly simple concept. It just takes up a costume slot and it goes there. That's how it works. So, we're here at point B. Now, normally if I were to die this Argentavis, if I were to die, let's say, I don't know, just down there, the Argentavis would autonomously come back to this point, the closest flag to it. Now, let's say I'm over here, my buddy's over there by that flag, he needs a bird, I'm over here going, well, I got a bird. I now have access to open up this separate special panel where I can set the destination and the default flag return. So this one I can set to always go back, you know, if I die, you're gonna go to this flag all day, every day. Or I can just tell you to go to one of these mailboxes or to one of these points. If I tell it to go to flag A, which is on the other side here, it just takes off. Now, what this guy will do is what it seems to be. He will fly all the way to the ceiling of the map, or a very high point, and then cross over and come down, which is really nice because it keeps him out of danger, but then also keeps him from like colliding into things as well. Depending on where you're at, what buildings are there, where the flag's located at, keeps that nonsense from happening. Doesn't look like they sprint though, so whatever their normal movement speed is, it looks like that's what's going to happen. Now, this mod does have a list of other compatible mods, and we can talk about why this Argentavis is flying over there because it's going to take a minute. I do not see something like Kraken's Better Dinos being compatible with it, but that doesn't mean that it's not. It simply means that it's just not listed as being like directly compatible. It very well might work very well with it. But it does work with things like classic flyers, so you could increase the movement speed of these creatures and they would cross from point A to point B a lot quicker. Probably should have picked something a little bit faster than an Argentavis to show you guys this, but you can see what I'm talking about. It's still barely within render, but it's going to go outside of render, and then it's going to cut and go all the way down, and then come straight down. Doesn't really go in a straight line. And also, while dude is going around, you also have access to the couple of these little skins. So the parcel skin is something that basically you could attach to. It's like a skin that you can put over an item or anything, and then put it on the inventory of the critter. And let's say you were just trying to mail it to somebody. This would be how you do that. So what you would do is put the parcel on the item, put the item in the creature's, put the creature item in the creature's inventory, and then send the creature to the mailbox, not the flag, and it'll drop it there. Pretty quick and easy, and kind of works like the kind of likes how the gas bag delivery crates work. It's just a little bit easier. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit quicker, depending on the flyer that's using. It's a pretty cool concept, and then the idea to be able to pull it back from any flag whenever you want as well is pretty neat. So let's say the Argentavis is halfway there, and I'm like, crap, I forgot something. I can pull up this flag and recall the flag, and I can tell this Argentavis to recall back to this point. And you can tell it to show en route or what grounded flyers you have. En route meaning that it's on its way over to the other flag. And also, while we're waiting for sending your Argentavis, these are paintable. You can actually paint the color. You can change the color of the flags. And the color of the mailbox actually has a couple different slots that you can change up as well to color them a little bit differently. You can also rename them. Obviously, like I said, I renamed mine to just point A and point B just for some simple testing, just to see what worked and what didn't work. And then also the mailbox does in fact have an inventory, so you can have things delivered to you. This is a pretty neat concept for a tribe that doesn't necessarily play directly together. Like if you have separate bases and separate things going on, super cool to be able to send that back and forth, especially if you have some really fast flyers. And well, speak of the devil, here he comes. A little bit slow, but he's coming. So he does make it over here. As you can see, this is why am I trying to paint myself? That doesn't make any sense. As you can see, this isn't super fast. I mean, that point's right over there, but it's because the RG went all the way up to the ceiling, flew all the way over, and flew all the way down. Plus, it's doing that without sprinting. It's doing it at normal movement speed, so you gotta kind of have to take that into consideration as well. All in all, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. I like it. I like the idea of being able to do this, to be able to kind of just deliver things back and forth between me and my teammates. The other option that you have in here is this letter, this pigeon paper stuff. So you can right click this and write the letter. So you can just write it to whatever and then create it. It'll create the letter, do the same thing. You drop the letter inside the flyer, and you get a notification that where it actually flew out, where it landed at, and the little pigeon noise as well. But you can throw these things in the flyer's inventory, send it to the mailbox, and it'll drop it inside the mailbox stuff for you too. So a pretty simple concept, and what we'll do is, I don't know, we'll set the destiny. What if we set it right here in front of me, just for sake of argument here? So let's just set it here. I imagine it should just... Ah, see, if it's too close, looks like you run into some issues. Like, because I'm literally sitting right here using the RG. Now, why you would do that, I don't know, but... Let's move him back over here instead. Move him a little bit over this way instead. Set destination to, let's try it now. See what happens now. Well, it looks like it's still just flying around it. Not sure what's going on here. Huh, okay. Let's drop this. So got the things in your inventory. Maybe because it's too close. Let's send it back to B. And we'll save you the trouble of having to sit here and stare at this flyer. And we'll clip over to when it's landing on the other side. I'm thinking maybe, and I should have probably tested that, it looks like if it's a little too close to the point, it doesn't really lock onto it. It looks like it locks on better when it's coming straight down, which may be how the mod is made, which would make more sense of why. I mean, obviously you want the creatures to be flying above so they don't clip or run into stuff, or potentially dangerous situations, but maybe that's part of the mod that's helpful to coming straight down on top of the objective and just landing there. Maybe that has something to do with it. Anywho, we'll go over this way and wait it out and see what's going on. While we are waiting though, I gotta say this is a pretty neat mod. It's not very big and it seems to work with a lot of other commonly used mods. It's a nice little addition for sure. I like it. I think it's set up pretty cool. My only gripe would be what we just saw. It seems like if the creature's a little bit too close to the starting point, that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, I mean, no real complaints. I think it works pretty well. And these work like all the way across the map. You know, I'm on the island down here, basically the Stonehenge Island, and we could set a flag of the volcano if we wanted to and have the RG go back and forth. Obviously, it would take us a little bit longer time, but we could definitely do that. To be able to color code the flags is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you probably have these at set positions. But the ability to craft a flag on your person is kind of nice because you could potentially have it just outside of a hairy situation and then take the flyer in there. And if you die, you don't necessarily have to worry about the flyer because the flyer is going to try to evac to another point. Or, you know, that part I kind of like. You know, if it's kind of an insult to injury when you're about to go cave diving or about to go steal a wyvern egg and then you die and then the flyer dies on top of it. I could definitely see this being super, 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 super useful. And to also note, there is what looks to be a actual active tribe log with this going on as well. So it'll actually tell you when it was sent. Yep, looks like it'll tell you when it actually sent and when it arrived at certain points. So if you're worried about it or if you're not necessarily next to it, you can definitely pay attention to that to know when it's coming and when it's going. Kind of nice, depending, especially if you're online, offline, you're maybe not sure about a bird that was going from point A to point B and you're trying to figure it out. Plus, being able to have other tribe members being able to, like, it's just easier to know for certain what's going on. This is definitely, I can see where this kind of sort of works like the delivery crate we use from like the gas bag bladders, but it's a million times better and has so many more features. I think this is definitely a very unique mod. I've never seen anything that works exactly like this. The only thing that I've seen that's even remotely close to this is maybe the Dino Patrol mod, where you have little flags and you have the creatures do like a little patrol. But this is so cool. Like the ability to just autonomously send flyers back and forth to situations. I mean, how many times have you had to fly goods to a tribe mate? And now you don't have to. You can keep doing what you're doing and just send your bird to do it and send it back later. So that's what it is. Okay, so we did land right on the mailbox and did deliver the goods in the mailbox. So it seems like that might be a small thing to note, that if you're too close to the place you're trying to send it, it'll act a little funny. But honestly, I mean, when would that ever be an issue? I mean, I feel like realistically you'd actually never have that happen. So as much as that might bug me a little bit, I mean, it's so irrelevant, to be honest with you. I mean, what's the point? I'm not going to be doing that. I mean, if the mailbox is right there, then I'm just going to put the stuff in the mailbox versus send the bird 3 feet over. Anywho, that's pretty much it. That's it, guys. That's a Homing Pidgeon mod. Pretty cool. Highly suggest you guys check this one out. We will have a link to the mod in the description of the video, so you guys can check that out at your leisure. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you on the next one.